Mr. Morgan, anything you want to say?
Yes. What is 24 months?
2 years.
2 years. You're not charged with attempting to inflict him with your virus. You're charged with biting him.
Only thing I knew only thing that I could do at the time, and I shouldn't have, but I don't usually bite people. I don't.
Fight me, you spray me, I'm gonna fight me. I'm gonna fight you. I've dealt with bigger people than you.
Older man. Sorry. I'm gotten older, and I've been through lots of stuff as a youngster.
This guy is in court today because he ended up fighting a corrections officer while he was already in jail on an attempted murder charge. And it wasn't some minor altercation either. He actually bit the officer, along with a few other shocking details you'll see unfold, so I won't ruin it early. The thing that stunned me immediately was that he genuinely didn't seem to understand what 24 months meant. Like, seriously, am I the only one who thinks it's obvious that 24 months equals 2 years? The way he talks and carries himself during this hearing just makes everything look worse for him. Tell me in the comments if I'm being dramatic here, or if that's just basic knowledge. Anyway, let's jump in.
The evidence in this case showed that on May 16th, 2024, inmate Benjamin Morgan was out of place. A simple institutional violation that Corrections Officer Stephen Bills tried to remedy by asking the defendant to simply go to his cell and shut the door. A command that the defendant refused repeatedly, over and over and over again. Nearly 20 times, Officer Bills calmly gave the defendant a command to lock down. He refuses to do so, and so he gets hit by a short burst of OC spray, pepper spray. A signal 3 is then called. Officer Nard, Corrections Officer August Nard, who's already en route to K-Block to the defendant's cell, based on the earlier requests for assistance, hears the signal 3, starts running, and arrives at the defendant's cell as Corrections Officers Bills and Garcia are fighting over the door with inmate Morgan. And what did inmate Morgan do the entire time? I'm a good fighter. Fight me. Fight me. You spray me. I'm going to fight me. I'm going to fight you. I've dealt with bigger people than you.
Older man. Sorry.
He was combative and resistant the entire time. They had no choice but to do what they did. Nothing was excessive. Nothing was unnecessary. The defendant was not entitled to use force back. He was not entitled to act in self-defense. The state has proven this case, and we ask that you return a verdict of guilty. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Newberger.
You've heard a lot of talk about rules, and you've heard testimony about force. I'm not involved with law enforcement except in the trial setting. And I am absolutely certain that I'm grateful that I'm not a corrections officer. Because in both videos, I see 3 corrections officers trying to do their jobs. People make mistakes, and it's up for you. It's before you to decide whether a mistake was made. But I've got to admit, when I watched that first video, I got angry. I got angry at Mr. Morgan. It took me a little while to get past that, to look at all the evidence. And you'll have all that before you, and you've had it all before you. But I got angry. Because if my daughters had been that disrespectful to a teacher, they would have been suspended, if not expelled. And I certainly would have punished them. But it wasn't Officer August Nard's job to punish. But what's irrefutable and unrebuttable are the 2 videos that you have an opportunity to see while you're deliberating. And you've heard all the evidence and the testimony. Mr. Morgan asks you to find him not guilty.
I get that the defense attorney is simply doing his job, but I just cannot take his argument seriously. It honestly feels like there was never a solid defense plan to begin with. He didn't present solid evidence, just a lot of talking and hoping something might sound convincing. From the start, it feels like this case is heading straight toward a guilty outcome because of that alone. And when you really listen, nothing he says actually challenges what happened. It sounds more like he's just trying to make it sound less bad, instead of disputing it. Judges don't usually buy that. The judge is clearly listening, but you can tell he's not impressed. What did you think of the defense?
You heard Officer Nard say there was a sound, a biting sound. A chomp. It broke the skin. It left a bruise. But watch the video. Watch it over and over and over again. Because what it will show you and what the facts are is the defendant refusing to comply with anything. And corrections officers doing what they needed to do. And based on that, I'd ask that you return a verdict of guilty. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nicholson. In the matter of the State of Ohio versus Benjamin Morgan, the jury finds as follows. As to count one, we, the jury being duly impaneled, sworn or affirmed, find the defendant Benjamin Morgan guilty of assault as he stands charged in the indictment. This is the second additional finding. The victim of the offense was an employee of the Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. Anything before I pronounce sentence, Ms. Nicholson?
Your Honor, there is no input from the victims. I will note for the record that he is currently incarcerated on a charge of attempted murder out of Cuyahoga County with an out date of August of 2028 currently. He does have other records to include burglaries, robberies, aggravated assaults. The court heard the facts at trial. We would ask for a minimum 24-month sentence to be imposed.
Mr. Newberger, anything on behalf of the defendant?
He may want to speak on his own behalf.
Okay. Mr. Morgan, anything you want to say?
Yes. What is 24 months?
2 years.
2 years.
That's a recommendation. Is there anything you want to say on your behalf?
Yes, I truly wasn't trying to. That even when the incident happened, Judge, I just lost it. I was going through lots of stuff already. People were taking things of mine. And I had been going through that for a minute. When I was having stuff taken from me, I was trying to address it with the officer. And at the time, I had already was just going through stuff. And the incident between me and that officer, like I said, like he said, me and him never had a problem. Never had a problem. And when he came into that, and when that happened, that incident happened, I never thought that I would even would go through something like that. So I apologize to the court. But the thing of it is being responsible, being an adult and being responsible is the thing. And I've gotten older now, and I've seen a lot of stuff. So and then I'm going through a lot of stuff right now also. And I had been fighting some of the issues that I had been writing you, and that's probably was the cause of, like the young lady was saying to you earlier, when she was telling you that we had to the first lady that was here with her family, and she was telling you how she stopped this and was changing her life and seeing things, and had to be also the same way. I'm gotten older, and I've been through lots of stuff as a youngster. I don't have a problem with facing if I know I'm wrong on something, as I'm older now, I don't have a choice but to face it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if I'm right about something, then I'm right. But I never attempted to I never wanted to harm him with my illness or anything else. I never meant that.
Mr. Morgan, that's not what you're charged with. You're not charged with attempting to inflict him with your virus. That's not what you're charged with. You're charged with biting him.
Someone send positive thoughts to this lawyer because his own client is making everything way worse than it needed to be. It honestly makes me wonder if they even discussed what to say before stepping into court. This is basic legal teamwork, knowing how to answer and not digging a deeper hole. Instead, this guy is trying to dodge responsibility by saying he didn't mean to make the officer sick. which isn't even the accusation. The charge is about biting the officer, not his intentions. That alone makes me question what's going through his mind. At first, it sounded like it might have just been a physical altercation, which is already serious, but now he openly admits to biting someone. That takes it to another level entirely. Do you honestly think he even realizes how serious this situation is?
Yeah. Well,
had it been the additional, had the state at least pursued a theory that you were intending or attempting to inflict him with the virus that your body carries,
mhm,
that would have been a more serious charge than what you're faced with now.
mhm. But the thing of it is, Your Honor, like I said, I had been going through, people had taken things from me at that time. And when this incident happened, only thing I knew only thing that I could do at the time, and I shouldn't have, but I don't usually bite people. I don't. And so I apologize for that.
Mr. Morgan, you talk as if there's been this big gap between this incident, because you even referenced this young lady this morning where there was a 15 or 20-year gap between her last offense and this offense. This offense happened 18 months ago. It wasn't like we're talking about something that happened 10 years ago. It happened 18 months ago, but you want me to believe that in this last 18 months you have grown and matured and figured out how.
I have. I have no choice. I have really gotten a chance to really take a look at
All right.
some of the stuff.
Then the other thing is that you mentioned was that how you as a man need to take responsibility when you're wrong, right?
Mhm.
Well, are you saying you weren't? Were you wrong here in biting him?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then why did we have a jury trial over this?
No.
They offered you 9 months in prison, in addition to add it on to your current sentence, and now we spent the last 2 days. You've been traveling to and from Toledo the last 2 days. I got 2 corrections officers getting up at 4 a.m. to transport you from Toledo this morning. Why did you go through all this if you were wrong?
I didn't feel to be. I found out by listening to all the things that you explained, you guys explained about the what you call her. And then I started looking at it myself and started saying, well, maybe they are,
All right. Courts consider the statements made here today, the purposes and the principles of sentencing, the relevance, seriousness, and recidivism factors. The court does find that you're not amenable to community control. So the court is going to order a sentence of 24 months in prison, that to be served consecutive to your current sentence. The consecutive sentence is necessary to punish this defendant. It is not disproportionate to the conduct or danger posed by the defendant. And this offense occurred while the defendant was already incarcerated with the Department of Corrections. You have 0 days jail time credit on this 24 months. You are indigent for the purpose of any fines, costs, or other financial sanctions. You are subject to a mandatory period of post-release control. So on this offense, like what you're currently serving, the Adult Parole Authority will supervise you for up to 3 years, but not less than 1 year. If you violate that supervision, you can be returned to prison for up to 1/2 of the court's original sentence. If your violation is that you commit another felony, you can be returned to prison for 1 year or the period that you have left on PRC, whichever is longer. That time would run consecutive to any additional prison time you get sentenced to. You do have a right to appeal the jury's verdict and the court's sentence to the 12th District Court of Appeals. If you want to appeal, you must file your notice within 30 days of today's date. If you can't afford to pay for the transcript or anything necessary for your appeal, that can all be provided to you at no cost. If you cannot afford an attorney, I will appoint one for you at no cost. Ms. Nicholson, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Newberger?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir, I wish you nothing but the best, okay? All right, thank you, sir.